Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. In the studio, we've got an absolute monster. This is the Mezzabarba Trinity. Yes, welcome back to the channel, you guys. As I mentioned, we're checking out the Mezzabarba Trinity. This is the 100-watt version, so we're going to check out some of the tones and, the features of this absolute beast. Now, since the Mezzabarba is made in Italy, I figure let's pair it up with another Italian wonder. This is a Valenti Nebula. Kind of like Ferrari meets Lamborghini, something like that. Italians know cars, they also apparently know music gear. Let's check it out. So what exactly is the Mezzabarba Trinity? Well, as the name suggests, this is a 3-channel amp with a bunch of different modes for each channel, which makes it incredibly versatile. When we look on the back of the amp, you can see there's almost as many controls on the back as there are on the front. This thing is seriously versatile. Now, when we look at the section here on the far side, you can see we've got indicators for channel 1, 2, and 3. We've got effects loop in or out for running your own pedals. We've got a bright switch, a boost switch, a secondary master control, which is an awesome feature. We'll talk about that in a second, and program. So you can actually save and recall some of your favorite patches. All right, so let's take a tour through this amp. Now, Mezzabarba is known for killer high gain tones, but if an amp doesn't have a good clean tone, well, it's not much of an amp, is it? So let's start with our neck pickup here. Just our basic channel 1, completely clean. Let's try both humbuckers together there. Let's try a split coil in the neck, just for fun, kind of to simulate a single coil guitar. Very nice. So let's try using the treble control. It's quite powerful. Let's take it right out here. Stay in our neck pickup, full humbucker. And then take that treble all the way up. Same kind of thing. So that treble control, very powerful. Let's take that back down to about 6 here. Let's try the boost. Now, we're going to stay on channel 1. We're just going to show you guys how versatile channel 1 can be. It's like a fully featured amp just in itself. So let's leave that gain about 5 here. Take the volume down. Let's see what we got here for volume. Really nice, just slight breakup. Let's take the mids and crank them. So we'll leave our treble and bass about the same. Really nice. And if you kind of just have a light touch, still stays pretty clean. And then if you dig in, really nice tone. Let's take that gain and start to move it up. So that was just kind of like that slight breakup. Let's go to about 6 or 7, about 7.5, I guess there. I'm going to take the volume down. Mids are still up. Let's try that. Try a bridge. Really nice. I'm going to take some of the treble out, see if we can get sort of a bit of a creamier tone. So I'm going to take the treble down to about 4. Let's take the gain up even higher, compensate with the volume down there. So that's kind of like channel 1. And of course you can EQ it up. It's all very powerful. And of course there is a foot switch that I can, you know, bring that boost on or off. You'll see it just click in and out right there using the foot switch. So that's really great too. I'm just kind of using these so that you guys can see. But that's kind of like a rough overview of channel 1. Of course, there's still the bright switch. So, you know, if you had a single coil guitar, you wouldn't necessarily need to use it. If you're using a humbucker guitar, I'm just going to take the gain back down here, volume back up, treble back up. Yeah, so anyway, if you were using like a humbucker guitar and you wanted the bright switch, it's also very handy so that you can switch between single coils and humbucker. So that's channel 1. So that's a little taste of channel 2. Now channel 2 is just as versatile as channel 1 in terms of, you know, adding your boosts, adding your bright switch, all that kind of stuff, and of course using the EQ. Now the first thing I want to go through is how much drive is on tap for channel 2, because you can go basically clean all the way to, you know, a pretty searing overdrive. So if I just play a chord here, here's kind of like a more kind of clean tone. All the way to, you know, pretty. You know, a really kind of just broken up tone. And then if we, you know, crank the gain, let's turn the volume down a little bit, and then use the boost switch as well, which really, you know, kicks that channel 2 in the face a little bit. So really versatile. Now one thing I absolutely love about this amp, you'll notice if I go back to channel 1 with the foot switch, we've got 2 white LEDs that light up. Now when I go to channel 2, we got 2 yellow LEDs, and channel 3 is the red LEDs. Now what that does is it instantly shows you where the volume and the gain controls are. So, you know, those are the most used switches. So if I just go to channel 2 and I quickly need to adjust my volume or my gain, I know exactly where they are. So each channel is like that. Absolutely love it. Now the other thing is the master volume. This is the secondary master. So the first master, you know, sets the whole level of the amp. The second one you can set up as a boost. So if you need a clean boost or just a volume boost, but you don't want to change, you know, the sound that you have. Like the boost really changes the tone, right? But the secondary master, if I click that on, you'll see it clicking right here. There it is. Now it's kind of like a solo tone or whatever of the same exact setting that you have. Take it off. Back on. Hopefully I'm not peaking. And you can set that however you want. Very useful feature for just getting like a clean boost or boosting your existing tone. So those 2 features work really well. So that's a little taste of channel 3. Now I still have my mids boosted from channel 2 here. So that kind of gives you sort of a heavier but classic kind of tone. If we take those mids and scoop them up, and again my my overdrive is just at 6, so it's not too crazy. But if we scoop those mids, Really great tone. Now if we take that drive, which is at 6, and we crank it up a bit, we'll adjust our volume down. And again, I can find that really easy because they're just lit up in red. Love that feature. Let's take our treble up, more of a, classic high gain tone. Now, one of the clever things about the guys at Mezzabarba is for channel 3, when you hit that boost switch, it actually has a different function than channel 1 or channel 2. Very clever. So when you hit that boost, what it does is it saturates the tone and kind of thickens it slightly for a lead tone. So when you hit that boost, it doesn't actually, boost the channel or inject more overdrive or whatever. What it does is it just kind of like smooths it out a bit. So if I go back to my neck pickup here, and take some of that treble out from our rhythm tone there. So it gives you a really nice liquid lead tone. I'll take that boost off now and do the same thing. Back on. So, very clever that they've thought of that when you're, have a really crunchy tone going on and you want to do a little lead. You can just hit that boost and it actually changes up, what that function is. So here's the foot switch that goes with the amp. You've got channel 1, 2, and 3, effects loop in or out, master, this is the secondary master, the boost, and the bright. So you can control all of those for each one of the channels. Now, when you hold down the bright switch, it actually changes into preset mode. And then you can store up to 7 of your favorite tones, which is perfect for live. You could go clean, a couple bluesy tones, a couple classic rock tones, a couple super heavy tones, or however you want to organize it. So very clever stuff. It's hooked up via MIDI cable into the back of the amp. So it works really good. Let's check out the back settings. So here's a look at the back panel of the Trinity. You've got your main power supply right here. It says handmade in Italy with a serial number. Love that. You've got 2 fuses and your main power on off. Now here is where things get pretty interesting. We've got a bunch more controls. Now here you've got your master presence. For this demo I had it just on 5, but of course if you add more, you get more kind of high-end shimmery kind of tone, and if you take it out, more of a mellow kind of straight ahead tone. So there you go, master presence control on the back. The feedback, very interesting control. If you kind of take it down, it kind of tightens up the tone and just gives you kind of like the core of the sound. And if you bump it up, kind of gives you some more overtones, a little more ragged kind of tone. Very interesting. I just had that at -1. Depth controls the overall bass frequencies. I had that at 4. If you wanted sort of like a classic Fender tone when we were doing our clean channel, you might want to kind of boost that up and give it some more kind of like really robust low end. And then here's your Master 1 and Master 2. So Master 1 is the overall volume of the amp. So if you wanted to run this 100-watt head at, bedroom volumes, you just take it down to 1 and, have some fun. Or you can crank it up or whatever. That's just the overall, volume of the amp. Now, Master 2 was switchable. So that's where you could hit the switch and it would kick in Master 2. And again, of course, you can set that. I had that at 7. So when I clicked on Master 2, it gave me a little boost. So very clever stuff. Love that. And then you've got your effects send and return there for running other pedals. And then you've got your MIDI in through, and you've got your foot switch that attaches right there. Then we've got USB, which also helps control the amp if you want to do multiple different setups and stuff like that. That's not for computer, that is tied into like the MIDI section. Then you've got your slave out with a level. So if you want to, you know, send a dry signal to a computer, if you want to reamp or anything like that, that's where you do it here. And then hopefully, I'll just move the camera over there, and then you guys can see the speaker outputs. So there you go, that's the back panel of the Trinity. Now, of course, there's a bunch of other features and tones that I didn't feature in today's demo, but I will link to this amp in the video description below. You guys can check it out there. 100-watt version, and also there's a 50-watt version. Very cool amps, pretty much some of the nicest amps on planet Earth. These things are incredible. So anyway, if you want more information, check it out in the video description below. All my stuff will be down there as well, tab store, t-shirt store, and obviously the gear I use in these videos. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the demo. Have yourself a great day.